Well, this past week, we have seen an unprecedented amount of articles in mainstream media talking about fake news. They're targeting us here at InfoWars personally. And joining me now in studio is Leanne McAdoo. We're going to be discussing these fake news trends and how they're really going out. You know, nothing holding back here, Leanne. You brought some articles for us. Why the aggression? Why now?
Well, we know this is the new CIA buzzword that they're using, fake news, because conspiracy theorists, people now hold that as a badge of honor. So, you know, I hate to keep talking about fake news, and a lot of people are saying, stop, you guys, just all you're talking about is fake news. But this is so important. We have to push back against this because it's not enough to them that they have, for the last, you know, at least 2, if not 10 plus years, policed our language, they policed our thought, but that was not good enough for them. Now that they're the losers and they didn't win this election, even though they had all hands on deck to get Clinton in to push her progressive agenda, now that they've lost, they have set their sights on actually shutting down any dissenting opinions altogether, including us, saying that we're dangerous, that we must be stopped. Now, when we do fake news, we are able to help stop President Obama going to war with Syria, or we help get Donald Trump elected. When they report fake news and media lies, people die. Hundreds of thousands of people die. They destroy continents. And so now they're really ramping up these efforts, inciting violence, reporting on racist, fake hate crime hoaxes, and of course, anti-government messages. This I love. Time magazine is actually telling 65 million plus Americans to stop paying taxes because they don't like the way the election turned out. Now, you'll recall just a year or so ago when we were talking about this kind of stuff, we're anti-government, non-patriotic. How dare you not pay into the system? But now that it didn't go their way, they're the ones that are being anti-government. It's crazy. So Paul Joseph Watson has this pretty exhaustive list of the fake news, but, I love you, buddy, but you've even forgotten a few of the fake news debacles that are out there. Like I mentioned, we got the hate crime hoaxes, saying all the support for President Donald Trump was fueled by racism with no evidence of that. We talked yesterday about CNN running the segment on suggesting that Trump is going to be putting Muslim Americans in internment camps. And of course, let's not forget that every liberal leaning media organization in the country repeated without question the hands up, don't shoot lie. Even after that was debunked, they continued to put the hands up, take pictures. Sally Kohn, everyone's beloved liberal at the time, tweeted out, only sure facts, according to police, is Mike Brown was unarmed and fleeing with hands up. No, this was based on a single
robbery.
Unreliable witness statement, zero police verification. The reality that we found out later with the investigation, the autopsy and all that was that Brown was actually shot. He was assaulting the police officer and trying to take the officer's weapon. It was a completely fraudulent theory. And this theory led to riots, violent attacks, looting, civil unrest in Ferguson, as well as many other cities. But the media continued to push this and continued to legitimize this unrest. And they are continuing to do that by calling for civil unrest, all of these protests now with the inauguration day. I mean, who knows what's coming?
Well, you talked about how the mainstream media, they actually are the real purveyors of fake news, and they create death and destruction with these lies. Right. Namely, just taking you to one example, the weapons of mass destruction, which allowed, that was a major lie, folks, right. And tens of thousands of people died as a result of that lie, both American citizens, soldiers, and Iraqis alike.
Well, and also to just, flip-flopping and saying that it was Iraq who was responsible for 9/11, not Saudi Arabia, not Osama bin Laden. It just all of a sudden, even George W. Bush said, I don't even care. I'm not even concerned about him anymore.
Right. I mean, who cares about the truth, by the way? Now that we've already gotten our mainstream, our underlying goal you mentioned conspiracy theorists. We've also heard racist. We've heard fake. They're swapping this out with fake news because racist and bigot and conspiracy theorists,
homophobic,
they don't work anymore. Xenophobic. Yeah. They're losing their appeal. So now we have to swap it with fake news. And of course, they've listed us as fake news. I don't know if you visited our website lately, but there's a banner talking about, there's a cry to make sure that Trump recognizes that we have been such an advocate for free speech, for the truth. And there's a call for people to actually go on our website. There is an announcement. They want to shut us down, Leanne. They want to shut anybody down that isn't spouting the lies of the liberal left.
Right. That anything that they decide is fake news. news, they're wanting to shut it down. And these are people who have sold us this lie that we needed to arm the rebels in Syria because they're moderate rebels and they don't have jihadist sympathies. And this is what, the president tells us, that they need to be supported. This led to the destruction of Syria, Libya, and the rise of ISIS. They are dangerous. I mean, massively dangerous. And they are creating civil unrest in this country. They're pushing these really awful policies that are destabilizing now Europe with this migrant crisis because, this created it.
You can't even see people speak out on Facebook. We covered this yesterday, this Bibi Wilhelm. She's 16 years old. She's like, look, Merkel, you're destroying Europe. Facebook censored her. They took her accounts down. She could possibly be fined by the German government for simply saying, look, your policies of mass migration, I'm seeing my friends raped. I'm afraid to go outside. She's just voicing concern, but they labeled her a hater and a bigot. And she's the one that was censored. Meanwhile, the only way they work is to successfully spout the lies that you and I buy.
Right.
That's the only way this stuff works. And they're losing the battle. I covered this just a moment ago. David Brock, he was so upset with the fact that Hillary Clinton lost because we were able to successfully take her down with the truth, that he now wants his own Breitbart because that to him was the reason, along with Drudge and InfoWars, why Hillary Clinton lost the election.
Right.
It's, of course, because of you listening to us. You're the real resistance out there and taking this message of truth and making it global. So the liberals they're so frustrated, they just don't know what to do with themselves.
Right. And that's it's so dangerous that they are trying to police the language, police thought. If they can control the way that we even understand words, understand gender, frankly, and just rewrite science and history, it's so dangerous. And the fact that they're not taking a pause to self-reflect on why did we lose this election? Why did people push back so strongly against our policies? What was this white lash?
That's why CNN called it. They hit it on the head. They really just wanted to be honest with you. It's because of white lash. It's because of all of you white nationalist idiots who have no education, who hate everybody else. That's why Trump won. Every time I hear those ridiculous, I'm being funny, by the way. Every time I hear those ridiculous lies, and they're still spouting them, that's the real fake news here, people.
Right.
That's what we should be calling out.
Right. Well, they're anyone who disagrees with them or was trying to come. WikiLeaks was a tool of Russian intelligence. Hillary Clinton did not behave unethically while she was Secretary of State. Of course, we saw Rolling Stone really pump out that infamous rape story that turned out to be completely false. They pushed the swine flu, the H1N1. A lot of pregnant women, there was a record number of miscarriages from pregnant women taking this H1N1 experimental vaccine, but they were pushing that there's going to be this pandemic. You have to take it. Of course, they pushed that swine flu. And so a lot of people were taking this experimental vaccine for this pandemic that never was. I mean, their fake news is completely dangerous. And then we've got another article up there about Google actually removing the fake news about Black people committing more crimes. So they're actually rewriting the statistics because people make this argument that it's racist for you to bring up Black on Black crime or whatever. When the fact is, if you don't get to the bottom of it and do something about the statistics, nothing is ever going to change with the way that police those neighborhoods. Because frankly, a police officer is 18 and a half times more likely to be killed by a Black person than a cop is to kill an unarmed Black person, much like what happened today, in fact, in Georgia. An officer was shot dead, and there's another one in critical condition.
We're talking about Google removing crime stats.
Right.
Legitimate crime stats because they consider them to be racist and biased. Can you believe this? The madness that we're entering. Actual statistics that are factual. We can't view those because
that's the thing is it doesn't feed into the narrative that they want to put out there that, cops are just arbitrarily killing unarmed Black men.
So giving people, and I love a proactive message. We're running out of time here. So tackling the fake news. We heard Dinesh D'Souza say, and I believe he said it to Alex, that the only way to defeat the liberal crappy mainstream media lying left that own it is the emergence of social media to tweet and retweet. I'm not a fan of Twitter anymore, but Gab, of course, as I understand it, get on social media and tweet and spout out the truth as you see it. And we're fastly running out of time. Again, is there anything else you'd like to add to this other than, giving a message of just people get out there,
back,
mobilize.
Man, fight back. I know it's exhausting, but fight back. We're winning, and that's why they're scrambling.
That's going to do it for us for tonight. Be sure, check us out tomorrow night. Are you hosting tomorrow night? I believe it's the lovely Leanne McAdoo. Nightly news. Also, hit the subscribe button on YouTube. That's going to do it for us.
In case you haven't heard, InfoWars has become the most influential media outlet in America. We're making freedom go viral. And now we are proud to announce a new weapon in the epic battle against the globalists. InfoWars Prime, where you can watch live high-definition feeds of The Alex Jones Show, plus exclusive insider videos from the InfoWars crew and behind-the-scenes action. Go to Infowars.com/app and download today. InfoWars Prime is available right now for your iPhone or Android. You will have access to exclusive videos that you can't see anywhere else. And that means live coverage of events and breaking news on location as it happens. You can also take advantage of amazing deals from the InfoWars store that are only available for InfoWars Prime subscribers. That's InfoWars Prime at Infowars.com/app. And if you can hear my voice, you are the resistance.